Hello, 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 and welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your holistic integrative teacher, Reiki master, card creator, and reader, licensed holistic personal trainer. The list goes on, goes on, goes on. Mother and a wife, and here's my cards. Anyway, happy Thursday. I cannot believe we're on Thursday, the first Thursday of December. So welcome. Say hi to me if you are here. I'll be checking out the comments. And before I dive in and get all excited, which is usually what happens, I get excited when I'm here, I want to remind you, which I've already done, please go ahead and share out the show. I've already shared my portion. Hello there, Anne. How are you, my love? Thank you so much for being here and being consistent. Everybody else, go ahead and share out the show. If you missed any episodes, such as the episode that took place, 3 weeks ago, because the third Thursday of November was I feel like it was like 3 weeks ago. It was only 2 weeks ago, I think. Anyway, you can catch any shows on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Twitter, of course, here on Facebook, YouTube, and let's not forget that I am also on many podcast platforms as well. So you can also hear my show, and I have to remember that. I have to remember to say that it's not just about listening. It's not just about watching. It's about listening to the show as well. And you've already saw the flyer. That was the guest that was on the last show, Deborah Beatty. She had an amazing show. If you did not catch it, I highly recommend that you do. I believe it was perfectly aligned for the season we're actually in right now, about being in gratitude. Although she had this delicious word for gratitude, which, since I don't have it in front of me, Lord knows I'm not going to be able to say it the way she said it, but it was delicious. That's the best way I'm going to go about it. In any case, what I like to do now, before I go any further, because got to stay on track, I want to give a shout out to my partners. There is a flyer that's going to show up, an animated flyer that you'll be able to see. We're going to start off with Joe Monkman. He is our personal development trainer. That's all I had room for his name, but he's also a wellness advocate. Then we have CJ Ives Lopez. She's the host and publisher of The Author's Porch. Yes. Deborah Beatty, whom I just spoke about, the badass color mystic. Kitty Budaway Foss. She's a storyteller of astrology, reader of the stars. And then we also have Tammy Mose, which is the podcast host and founder of Hoarding Solution, which, by the way, I think there's a flyer for this as well. She's going to actually be the next guest on the show the next time we come on, the third Thursday of December. So look forward to seeing her. I know I'm going to be excited to see her, because she and I have been talking behind the scenes and chatting a lot about hoarding and how it does influence your body as well. If you're not aware of that, please go ahead and circle the third Thursday on your calendar for 3:30 and plan to be here so you can get to meet Tammy and find out all that she shares about hoarding and how important it is to really declutter, because you don't want to have a hoarding situation. And when we think about hoarding, it's literally like the smallest amount of clutter that sits in one spot. Eventually, it's like a magnet, and more stuff goes there. So anyway, like I said, circle the third Thursday on your calendar for December. Come join me at 3:30 at that point and learn all about what she's going to be sharing with us. So there you go. That's Deborah's flyer. I believe, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think there is a flyer for Tammy. My apologies for that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the energy of the day before I dive in and get all excited here. The energy of the day, what is actually going on in the energy of the day? I always like to talk about the moon's energy, because the moon rotates every 2.5 days. So therefore, every 2.5 days, we are feeling something, because the moon is about our feelings, how we feel. And depending on what element that moon is in, fire, earth, air, or water, will then determine how you're going to feel. And today's moon happens to be in an air sign, which is in Libra, and it's all about helping us to bring more harmony and balance, and helping us with problem solving when it comes to our relationships. Now, for whatever the reasons are, I've been streamlining Facebook all morning, and this happens to be a common conversation from a lot of people, where it really is time to start opening up communication. Whereas if you have a conflict with somebody, the worst thing you could do at this point in time, and I'll explain why in a minute, is shut down your conversations. If you are not in agreement with somebody, you've had a dispute with somebody, this is a perfect time to really start thinking about picking up the phone and saying, you know what, it's time to clear the air and have a conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to help you take the heaviness off your heart. And then I like to have a chance to, if there is anything for me to say, I like to have a chance to say that as well. And this is really, this moon's energy is helping us with this. So in addition to the moon being in Libra, I want to remind you that our south node is in Libra. So that's activating that balance as well. And there's another end to this. When we think about Libra's energy, it's associated with the seventh house in astrology. And when we think about the energy of 2023 based on numerology, I like to flip it. The energy of 2023 is a 7. So that whole journey that we've all been on for the last 12 months, continuing on through the end of the year, is really about our spiritual journey that we are all on. The bringing balance into our contracts, evaluating the contracts that we do have, the disagreements that we are having. Let's face facts, people. We're not supposed to agree with everybody, because this is how we learn about ourselves. This is how we learn based on the different people we connect with. We're not supposed to agree. We're supposed to agree to disagree, because that's what makes relationships so much more fun. When you're in a relationship and someone's having a conversation, hopefully they're bringing something to the conversation that you get to learn. And therefore, by learning, it gives you this opportunity to expand. So pay attention to that. And that Libra South Node energy is really about helping to bring more balance into your own energy as well. Now, I want to bring to your attention and remind you to take a look at your own natal chart and see where your own moon sign is and how that's connected to the Libra sign of today. And also pay attention to your South Node energy as well, your personal South Node, because this energy amplifies that energy. How the collective and the personal do come together, and they tell a story. And when you do understand your astrology chart, it makes it so much easier to navigate. And I'll say this over and over again, just so you are reminded of it. Having this navigation system isn't about making it where everything is perfect and you're never going to experience a challenge or disagreement again. Having the navigation system just helps you have another tool to work with, so you can navigate a little easier through whatever challenges you are having. Again, it's not about, well, you're going to be exempt from challenges. That's not what this is about at all. So keep that in mind when working with your navigation system. And I just want to see if there's one other thing I want to talk about before we go to a commercial break. Oh, well, before I pull a card, can't forget that. I also want to put it out there that I'm going to wish everyone who's celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. This evening starts. Hanukkah goes right through from today, the 7th through the 15th. So those who are celebrating, happy Hanukkah to you. Let me get a card to pull, see what's in store for us, what energy we need to work on, and then I'm going to dive into today's conversation. After all, the title for today is about 123, abundance and expansion. Now, if you've been following me on my general other platforms where I do lives, I've been talking about this energy a lot. And there's a reason why I'm talking about this energy. Let's get this card out. There you go. And see what's in store. This is a perfect card. Change. It's a perfect card. This is exactly what we're all experiencing. Change. Changing the way we connect with one another. Changing the way of the silence to the communication. When we go silent on somebody, or the term that many people use these days is ghosting. When you suddenly get ghosted, where all of a sudden you may have a conversation with somebody for a whole year straight, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. They don't answer your calls, they don't answer your texts, they just disappear. What is that about? What is that about? So there's something that needs to change with that. We really need to get into that space where we start to communicate better. Communication skills are so important. And I want to put this out there as well. For those who are not open to communicating and clearing the air, you're actually doing a disservice to your body. And the body that you're doing the disservice to, the body part, is your throat chakra. If you are not willing to speak your truth and express yourself and share your feelings, you're blocking your throat chakra. And that's a biggie, especially right now with Mercury getting it ready to go into retrograde on December 13th. It's in a shadow period right now. So this is a really great time to have those conversations so you can clear up the throat chakra. The number 5, as we said, is about change. You've got to change something in order to gain the freedom you're looking to gain. The chakra here, as we just spoke about, the throat. That's some big information there, guys. So pay attention to that. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we're going to dive into an intense, fun conversation, if those two words can go in the same sentence. I'll be right back. Hello and welcome. I'm Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your holistic integrative teacher, licensed personal trainer, Reiki master, published author, and card creator. Let me take you down a path of direct communication with the physical body in order to become more aware and in sync with your soul. I will help you to observe and understand the language of the body as it regards to the needs of the soul. Join me on this journey of great expansion and a unique experience. I will help you integrate your mind, body, and soul as you move forward on your journey. For questions, readings, and self-growth discovery session, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. It's so funny to see myself on a commercial where I literally sit there and stare. Welcome back. For those of you who are just tuning in or listening, watching, listening, whatever we want to call it, welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. If you missed the very beginning of the show, that's okay. You can always go back, watch on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and that's just to name a few of them. Anyway, as the card I spoke on before, the amazing card of change, and the energy that we are moving into, the energy that we are into right now is bringing us into massive change. Now, I want to remind you, for those who are watching with me live, grab yourself that pen and paper because you're going to want to take some notes. And those who are watching on the replay, I'm going to want to hear about your notes that you took. So we have the throat chakra, which is a really big chakra that we have going on right now with Mercury getting ready for its retrograde, which will take place December 13th. And that retrograde is happening in Capricorn. Yeah, I have notes here. Give me a minute. Let me get my notes. Notes. Where are the notes? Retrograde is happening in Capricorn. There you go. I mean, I got a little scared there. Happening in Capricorn, and then it's going to literally dip back into Sagittarius on December. It dips back into Sagittarius on January 13th. So pay attention. This is a perfect time to really start working on self-expression. Expressing what it is you need to say. Holding in or pushing down is not going to do anything for your throat nor your heart. Those are the two body parts, two areas of your body that will definitely be impacted if you do not start speaking your truth. It's extremely important. Pay attention to that. All right. Want to dive in because, like I said, there's a lot to cover today. As the title is 123, 123, massive portals that we are about to experience. Now, we've been experiencing portals for the entire year, starting in the beginning of January. We experience portals every year. What makes this year's portals so much more powerful? Just based on the last day of this year, on December 31st, we have a massive portal that we're never going to experience again in this lifetime. And I don't think anyone who's living right now are going to experience this portal in their lifetime. It's a once-in-a-lifetime portal. But before I dive into that portal, if in case you're not familiar with what a portal is, a portal is what I like to call the cosmic doorway that opens and creates a very thin veil between the spiritual realm and the human realm. So it makes it really, really easy to connect with spirit. It makes it really, really easy for those who are suffering with illness or disease to cross over, which is one of the reasons why we often experience a lot of loss over this past year, because it's been so easy for those who are suffering to cross over. In addition to this portal that we are experiencing, where it is about that veil being really thin between the spiritual realm and the human realm, it's also the portal that connects us to embody our body. Our body is a primary, the word I'm hearing is toolbox and the primary teacher. Those are the two words I'm hearing, toolbox and primary teacher. The toolbox is that your body is your toolbox in reference to learning how to use your body in the right way so you can begin to heal. Paying attention to what your body is telling you. That's where the teacher part of it comes in. Your body is teaching you different things. So depending on whatever you're feeling in your body, and I know most of us are feeling something, most of us are feeling a lot of things for that matter, whatever it is you're feeling in your body, rather than being in a rush to try to make yourself feel better, take some time to sit in whatever that is, because that's where you're going to get to learn your lesson through this portal. And I just want to give a shout out. A few of you are jumping in. I see that Cheryl is here with us. So hello, Cheryl. Nice of you to be here and spend time with me today. Going back to our portal, this veil, and understanding that your body is your teacher. So if you are looking to put that, and I'm going to use this term, put that Band-Aid on whatever it is that's going on with your body, you're missing out on a major, major, major lesson that your body is trying to teach you. And every portal that we're experiencing is only, what's the word I'm hearing, is only making the symptom more powerful. Because if you are just trying to put that Band-Aid on it, the next portal that shows up is going to activate that symptom even more so than it did the last time, only because you put the Band-Aid on. So it's really important to start or to stop putting the Band-Aid on whatever it is and allow your body to go through what it needs to go through and learn something from your body, just like you would if you're sitting with your girlfriend or your partner or whomever, your man friend, where you have conversations. Have a conversation with your body during these portal periods, because you will learn so much from your body. Now, I speak a lot on the concept of how our body is the teacher. And I also, hello there, Crystal. How are you, my love? I also speak about how we have to remember that there's always two sides to a coin. What do I mean by that? To start off with, when we talk about anything that's showing up in our bodies, the physical pain, the illness or disease that might be being activated at the time, the one side of the coin is, as humans, we want to know the medical diagnosis. We want to know what's wrong. So right away, it's the medical diagnosis. But remember, there's a flip side of that coin, which is the metaphysical explanation. And anytime, and there's no other route to this, at least the way I see it. Anytime anything is going on with our bodies where something's showing up, it's 99% of the time related to some emotion that is off balance. Some emotion that is off balance. Some emotion that's out of balance. Some emotion that is out of balance. I keep saying it so you can hear it. And pay attention to that. So when you have something that's showing up in your body, it's because there's an emotion that's out of balance. Also, paying attention to, through these portals that we experience, and I'm going to be speaking about many of them shortly, through these portals that we experience, these portals actually are being activated from the heavens and the earth. So from the crown and your feet, working its way up. And therefore, it's tapping into your chakra system. Our chakra system, there's a lot of chakras. There's like 100, I believe there's 144 chakras overall of our entire body. There's 12 that literally run from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, and there's 7 primary chakras that most healers, such as myself, work with. And each one of those chakras is associated with a specific body part and organ as well. So as we're experiencing, whether it's a new moon, a full moon, which is the most common portals we all know, in addition to all these other portals that we're learning more about, when we're experiencing those portal activations, that energy is trying to get through from either the crown or the root. And if there is anything that's going on emotionally, that's going to cause some stagnation in the chakra, preventing your body to flow easily because there's stagnation there. Think of it like plumbing. If your sink is clogged and you have the water running, the water's not going to go down easily. It's going to get stuck, and eventually the water's going to sit in the sink until you pull out the clog, and then that's when the water goes down. So pay attention to that, because that's the same thing with your body. And these stagnations that we're feeling is related to these portals that are coming through. These portals are here to help us to pull the veil off, to become more transparent, to be authentic, to see ourselves in the perfect, ideal space that we can see ourselves, recognizing how we hold our body, how we hold ourselves through these energies. And this is a very powerful time as we experience this energy. So it's so important to pay attention. So I do want to tap into a few portals before I take the next commercial break, talking about, and again, like I said, please write down these dates. Write it down in regards to numbers, because it does make a difference. So now we think about the first week of December. We've already experienced a major portal in the first week of December, just from the Venus energy shifting. Let me go to those notes because I don't have them directly in front of me, and I don't want to waste too much time. So December 1st, we had Mercury enter Capricorn. December 4th, Venus enters Scorpio. December 6th, Neptune went direct. And that's just within the first week of December. So those were major portals. I also want to remind you that when we do experience multiple portals within a very short period of time, that too is going to try to push through the energy through your chakra system quickly. And when we have quick energy flowing through us, that too can create, oh my God, my body, there's just too much going on with my body, and your body gets overwhelmed by this energy. And I'm no exception. I've been feeling it as well. I've been sharing with you, if you've been following me on Facebook, I do my workout check-ins, and I've been talking about different things that's going on with me. I'm no exception to the rule. Just because I do healing work doesn't exempt me from experiencing what I'm experiencing. Portals are there to help us raise our frequency and elevate our vibration as well. So that's why these portals are so important. So I'm just going to dive in. Here are 3 major portals coming in as we move into next week's energy. The first one is December 11th, at 12/11/2023. We have a double 12 energy. The 12 energy is a portal in itself, because it's about leadership and partnerships leading into collaborations. So it's a really big portal. And the overall day, the overall energy for that day is a 12. So that's massive. So when we really think about it, we have 3 12s in that day, in the energy of that day. Massive, massive, massive. Which again, works out to be, when you think about it, 3, 3, 3. So that is a reminder that your angels are with you. They're guiding you. They're supporting you on this journey that you are going through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick commercial break and come back and talk about the other 2 portals. But before I take that commercial break, there is a flyer for me. If you have questions, if you want to schedule a self-growth discovery session, you want to schedule a reading, feel free to scan on the QR code. For those who might be listening to this, you can email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I'm going to take a quick commercial break so I can get some water, give you a chance to grab your pen and paper if you don't have it. Get some water as well, and we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hello, and welcome back to Joanne's Study Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. If you are just tuning in, if you are just watching, coming in for the first time, know you can go back later and rewatch on the replay. You can do this by going to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and so many other platforms as well. Today's show is all about the 123 abundance and expansion. And that's exactly what it is, abundance and expansion. Wow, let's take a breath on that because that's big, yes? I was just sharing about one of the first portals that we're experiencing coming in this week. Now, we just came from a massive portal cycle in the very first week of December. We've been experiencing portals for the entire year. So it's not really new. It may be new to you, but it's not really new. And what portals really are is just that the veil gets so thin that we do get the opportunity to connect with spirit. And because we are spiritual beings having many human experiences, our energy starts to shift, our frequencies start to shift, our vibrations start to shift, which is one of the other reasons why when we think about our relationships with all the people we have relationships with, and the challenges that we may come upon with these relationships, those challenges are there because they're there to teach us something. And that's part of the portal, is what we're learning about ourselves and how can we move into a state of compassion, a state of grace, a state of peace, a state of calmness, a state of understanding. Because we really never know what the other person is really going through in their life. It's not really our job to know. So therefore, if we can extend that compassion, understanding, and kindness out to them, and just have a little ease as well, it just makes things a lot easier during these times. Every one of us are experiencing some sort of shift in our energy. Every one of us. If you take a look at yourself and review back last year, the year before that one. In fact, I'm going to skip a little bit here for just a second. In 2025, we're all going to have a chance to review the last 9 years of our lives. And I'm sure, I can almost guarantee you, how you were 9 years ago and how you are now, you're a very different version of yourself. Therefore, there's lots of people, places, and things that probably faded out over the last 9 years because your frequencies have changed thanks to these portals. So I want to talk to you about the next portal. I spoke about the 2023 portal. Remembering that day on the 11th, also the portal, the Master Healer. Now, I know I get excited when I hear the word master healer, but I also got to remind myself that being the master healer means that we are here to actually work on healing something. That's why we're master healers. So keep that in mind. It's great to get excited about it, but to be a master healer means you're working on healing something. And it could be a perfect day where you're actually going to call on a master healer to come support you on your journey. We cannot do this alone, nor should we. I myself have, oh my God, I probably have about 5 or 6 mentors that I classify as my master teachers. And each one of them have their own little special something they do with me to keep me where I need to be. And that's what I also do with clients as well. So it's really important that you call on a master teacher. As they say, the expression is when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So pay attention. Pay attention to the people that might be showing up. Pay attention to what it is that's resonating with you. You may be in that portal cycle that you are looking for a master teacher to guide and support you on your journey. You are not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to do this alone. As we move into this age of Aquarius, this is about we, not I. So I'm going to move on to the next portal, which is another big portal, as always, the 12-12 portal. Looking at the overall number 12-12-12, 2023, lots to choose. Oh my God. That day is a new moon energy, the new moon in Sagittarius. So again, if you know anything about new moons, you know that it is about setting up new intentions. Not specifically goals, but intentions. Setting the intention. What intention do you want to bring into your experience? What do you want to expand on? Where do you want to see your abundance? Because that's really what it's all about, is where you're focused. And we're all in this process of expanding something. And what I'm going to talk more about, speak more on the expansion in a little bit, so hang on to that one. So in addition to the new moon in Sagittarius, make note that Mars will be aligned with the moon that day as well. Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of energy. It's the planet of let's be assertive, let's be aggressive, let's do something. Sagittarius is a fire energy. Keep in mind, though, the moon is about how you feel about all of this. And always come back to your personal moon. What is your personal moon? Does your personal moon fall into fire, earth, air, or water? My personal moon is in air, which is all about analytical, reviewing, the visionary, the researcher. And depending on where that moon is, could send me off on a tangent of evaluating everything and overthinking, or get me in a space where I'm researching, and being really productive. So where is your moon? Then in addition to the new moon in Sagittarius, Mars being aligned to the moon, remember it's that 12-12 portal. So that 3-3 energy, that 33, reminding you that you are the master sacrificer. You are sacrificing something so you can raise your frequency. And sometimes it's challenging for us to know that people, places, and things are fading away. And they fade away because ideally you can't take everybody with you. If you're hanging out, if you have a crew of people that you've known since forever, that's exciting, yes. However, you got to really research and ask yourself, how are these people really filling me? Are they filling me? Are they continuing to raise my vibration? Do they bring joy into my life? Do I bring joy into their life? If so, keep them. If they're not doing that, maybe it's time to cut those cords. And that's a great day on that new moon's energy to start weaning away so you can start bringing in more like-minded people that's going to serve you on the journey that you are here to fulfill. Because that's what we're here to do. We are here to fulfill a purpose that we've all been giving in the very moment prior to birth to do in this lifetime. So our next portal that we have going on is on December 13th, which Mercury begins its retrograde. As I mentioned before, we are in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde, and Mercury starts its retrograde on December 13th in Capricorn. If you're not familiar with Capricorn energy, Capricorn is about your soul's purpose. It's what you're here to achieve in this lifetime. It's what you literally were born to do in this lifetime. It's what your service is. Now, if you're not sure what your soul's purpose is, it's okay. Just start asking first thing in the morning, minute your eyes open. Ask your higher power, guide me to what it is that serves me at the most highest level possible. And then be open to whatever you're guided to do for that day. Keep in mind that a part of your highest purpose may very well be to learn how to be compassionate, learn how to be patient, learn how to be kind. So those things that you're here to learn means you're then going to experience lessons that's going to bring that in. So to learn how to be compassionate means you're going to experience something that might be challenging for you to show compassion. If you're asking to learn how to be patient, you're going to have an experience that's going to require you to be patient. It's just that simple. So pay attention to all of what it is you're asking for and then what shows up. Do not be so quick to want to escape your lessons. Be in this joyous space, in this grateful space of what it is you are learning about yourself through your lessons. This is, and I'm sure you've heard this expression, this is your earth school. We are all here learning something. Every one of us are learning something. And the idea is to keep learning so we can evolve into that major, beautiful spiritual being we are meant to be, so we can get our wings and do what we came here to do. So I'm going to move in, because I do have a little while I can do this. I'm going to move into the other portals. As we get past next week's energy, and remember, whenever we have energies that are back to back, that's expansive portal energy. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Also, the best way to keep your chakra system flowing, and I've actually said this to Anne earlier today, so she can contest, is movement. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling distracted, if you are in conflict, move your body. And I don't mean just walking. It's not about walking. Walking is great, but I want you to move your body in a more strenuous way so you can gain physical strength to be able to handle the challenges and lessons that are coming through. Because as we go through these portals, that's what's going to take place. You're going to come into situations where that compassion may need to show up, and you have to be strong enough to withstand. You have to be able to hold on and hold on for somebody else who may not be able to hold on for themselves. So next portal that's coming through is on December 20th, 2023. That's a master portal of choose, which is about partnerships, your relationships. It's also, when we think about it, it's that 2020 portal. It's a mirror. 2020, anytime two numbers repeat, they're mirrors of each other. So during that week of time period, you may notice that there's going to be people you're coming, joining in paths together with, that are mirroring things for you, for you'll learn about yourself. Every person is teaching you something about you. So if there's something about somebody that you're not quite liking, or that get under your skin or irk your nerves, whatever the expression you want to use, they're teaching you something about you. So pay attention. So the next time somebody annoys you, ask yourself, oh shit, do I do that? Am I like that? And learn something about you. That's what you need to do on that particular portal. On that particular day, we have the 22 energy, which is the master builder. You're building better and healthier relationships. You also have the 222. You got to keep your faith. You got to trust that whatever you're going through, whatever lesson you're going through right now, you already have the answers. Check in on your body. Your body is going to tell you the answers. Wherever you experience, whatever it is you experience, your body is going to tell you the answers. Simple and easy. All right, let's move into the next one. December 21st. That's a big portal at 12/21/2023. Now, keep in mind when we talk about this energy going forward into the 20s, we also got the portal of the 1, 2, 3 energy, which is all about resetting your karmic cycle. 1, 2, 3, resetting your karmic cycle. I do see there's lots of comments. I'm going to look at those comments shortly and respond to them. So hang in there. I'm not ignoring them. So when we think about that 12/21 energy, it is about the winter solstice. So that's a big energy in itself, another massive portal. And the sun enters Capricorn at that point in time. Now, if you're not familiar with what the sun's energy is about, the sun is very similar to your North Node energy. It's about your purpose. It's what you're here to become. You are working towards becoming whatever your sun energy is. So I happen to have a Pisces sun energy, which means, believe it or not, this might sound like a surprise to you, but I am working towards becoming more intuitive, more psychic, more of a healer, more higher wisdom. That is whom I am working to becoming. Your sun energy is what you're here to become. It's very much associated with your soul's purpose. So whatever your sun sign is, that is what you're here working towards becoming. In addition to 1221, another mirror, another mirror. So if you took those two numbers, they're mirrors of each other. The mirrors of your leadership, the mirror of you being independent, the mirror of you setting boundaries, and how the person who's mirroring you may have a conflict with that, may be challenged by the fact that you're now standing up for yourself as opposed to shrinking. It's a really great day. And the last one before I take a commercial break, December 22nd, 2023, another massive, massive portal, which is, again, lots of twos in that one. You got the Master Builder, and the overall energy when you add that date up works out to be the 7-7, which is 14, which is 5. Massive, massive, massive portal there. I'm going to grab water. And I'm going to go with one more date, and that is the 2323 portal. I've been talking about that portal a lot. The 23 comes in from the number of the year, the last two numbers of the year. That 2323 is massive change, massive freedom, massive courageousness. You must be courageous enough to make changes. Like our card said earlier, change. You must be courageous enough to make change. So that is massive, 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 massive. Did I say massive? Yes, I did. All right, so I want to just run through these comments really quickly, and then let's see. So we have Anne says December 13. I have something kind of big going on. Excellent. Yes. And Anne I suggested to Anne to do some squats earlier today and some push-ups, and she's saying that she did what I suggested her to do, and she said that she does feel much more grounded. So again, when you are feeling distracted, focusing on lower vibrations, so if you're in a space where you're feeling sad, overwhelmed, even crying for that matter, ideally, I suggest to give yourself a period of time of how long you want to sit in that energy. And then once you've allowed yourself to experience whatever it is you're experiencing, the best way to ground your energy is squatting, because squatting activates your root chakra. So by squatting, and all squatting means is that you're sitting and standing up at a chair. If you want to actually do it where you're doing it with weights, you just hold the weight in front of you. If you don't have weights, you can grab a sack of books, you can grab a gallon of water, whatever it is to add a little resistance so you can activate your root chakra to get you to be more focused and more grounded so you can be more productive. And I always say, because most of the time when we are distracted, it has something to do with the matters of the heart. Open up your heart chakra. Best way of doing that, easiest way, is by doing some push-ups. Now, if you're not familiar with how to do a push-up, easy, quick way of doing push-ups is just standing up in front of your kitchen sink. We all have one. Step back about 6 steps back. Make sure your body's on an angle, and lead where you're leading your chest to the counter, and then extending your arms away. That's going to open up your chest, and that's going to get that energy to flow. Because again, we do not want stagnation in any of our chakras, because that's going to be the thing that's going to create the physical symptoms or activate your illness or disease. You got that, everybody? All right. There is a flyer up there with my QR code. Feel free to grab it, scan it. If you're listening to the show, email is healingwithin76@gmail.com. If you have questions, comments, you want to grab a self-growth discovery session, want to get a reading, please feel free to email healingwithin76@gmail.com. If you're watching the show, go ahead and scan on that QR code, assuming you have a phone that you can do that with. Otherwise, I gave you the email already. All right, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back with some more portal information. So don't go away. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm CJ. The Author's Porch is a community where you find good books and good people. We collaborate with services that deliver quality to authors and publish a magazine for authors by authors. Come by, let us feature you or review your book. Coffee is always on, and no matter what time you arrive or where you come from, the porch light is always on.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. If you were just tuning in or just listening for the first time, you've missed a great show so far. Feel free to come back later and watch from the beginning. You can do so by watching on YouTube, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, Twitter, you name it, it's there. And of course, all the major podcast platforms. So I want to mention before I forget, as I was talking about the portal on the 12/23/23 portal. In addition to it being that massive energy of change, we want to remember that Mercury, since it's already going to be in retrograde, is dipping back into Sagittarius. So it's going to come out of Capricorn and dip back into Sagittarius until January 13th. So being in retrograde right now, as it starts into retrograde on the 13th of December, it's all about your soul's work. When it dips back into Sagittarius, it's all about your higher consciousness. It's about your daydreams and your night dreams and traveling. How do you travel? How do you travel? And paying attention again, because it is a fire energy, so it's going to go from a earth energy to a fire energy. Paying attention to the energy in your body. The energy in your body. The earth energy means you're a little more grounded. Could also mean a little more distraction. The fire energy means you got what I'm hearing, and excuse the expression, you got fire up your ass and you're trying to get things done. And that can create a little bit of distraction of being overwhelmed. So pay attention. All right, next energy we're going into, and on note that once Mercury dips back into Sagittarius, it goes direct on January 1st, and then it will go to complete, it goes direct on January 1st, but stays in Sagittarius until that point. And I don't have my notes to when it actually goes back to, let me take a peek at something, because I do have notes here. Let's see. It will go, January 13th, it will go back into Capricorn. So January 1st, it goes direct. It will still be in Sagittarius. And then January 13th, so we'll have 13 days as it's direct until it goes back to Capricorn energy. So pay attention to that. All right. Next bit of portals that's coming up. And we have some really, again, anytime we have portals that are back to back, it creates a lot of energy in our bodies. And that energy is explosive, which means it may not be able to move through. So you may very well experience those physical symptoms. And I'm not going to mention the physical symptoms because I don't want to put that out there in your mind and then you start thinking it and creating it into reality. The best thing I can say for you is if you start to feel the physical symptoms, reach out to me and ask me, is this a physical symptom that's related to this portal? And I will be able to answer that question. Because again, I don't want to put it out there so you start thinking about it and then you start creating that to show up. All right? I think that's fair to say. So the next portal that takes place is on December 26th, is our full moon in Cancer. Now that's literally the day after Christmas Day. So that's massive. And that takes place at 7:33 p.m. Eastern Time. Cancer energy is about home. Now I split home up into 3 areas. Shelter, which is your family, your work, and also your body. So pay attention when we talk full moon energy. It's about what can you let go of? What can you change about how you connect with your body? What can you change about how you connect with your family? And what can you change about the connection you have with the work you're here to do? not your 9 to 5. Also want to remind you that, again, people, places, and things may start to fade away. Do not try to hold on to something that's fading away, and perhaps you're starting to feel like this desire to let go of something. Let it go before the universe steps in and pushes you out. I'm speaking of the job, people, just to give you an idea. All right, next thing that we're going to talk about is a big energy, big, massive, which is actually what we've been leading towards the entire time here together. Before I dive into that, I do want to remind Anne, as she put in the comments, that she may try the push-ups on the kitchen counter later. Exercising, strength training, whether you're using weights, some sort of resistance, once a day. I don't recommend you to do an overexerting amount of physical activity in a day. So once a day, you could try the kitchen counter, leaning into it. Today's Thursday, you could try it on Saturday, because you want to give those muscles a little time to recover before you hit them again. Okay, Anne, that's for Anne. And anybody else that might be thinking, oh, I did my workout, but maybe I'll go back later and try that too. Not today, skip today, rest tomorrow for that. You could do another body part tomorrow, and then go ahead and do that on Saturday. All right, moving into December 30th and 31st. We have Jupiter that's in retrograde in Taurus. That's about to go direct. Now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion and our spiritual gifts. Taurus is about our relationships with self, with others, our body, how we value ourselves, and it's also the relationship with our physical material possessions. In addition to, and I want to see if I can grab this note really quickly because I don't have it here in front of me, and I always work with like 2 books at one time, not a good idea. In addition to, well, for right now, I'm going to skip what I was going to say so I don't confuse you. So when we think about that Taurus energy, is how you value yourself. And how you value yourself is going to be the mirrors of how people value you as well. So if you're noticing that you're not getting that respect from others that you really like, that's because you have to work on valuing yourself. Those boundaries are a big thing. And when we had Saturn in its retrograde in Pisces, Saturn's still in Pisces, Saturn's all about your boundaries. So maybe you need to start setting some. So in addition to on December 30th to 31st, that Jupiter goes direct in Taurus energy, that's the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 energy. The biggest massive portal there is. When you add up those numbers, again, breaking it up to start off with, we get that 6, 6 energy. It adds up to a 12. So we're back to this overall 12 vibration, which is about that major portal between your leadership, your independence, doing something new, That 1 energy is about new. That 2 energy is about the partnership that you have with yourself and the partnerships you're going to have with all these new people that are showing up. Now, I do want to point out, when I use the word new people showing up, pay attention to the fact that as you are changing, some of the people around you are going to change. So they may have the same face, but they may have a different vibration. So if, let's say, argument's sake, somebody from your past shows up, and this is after the whole Mercury retrograde thing, although I don't always believe that in regards to when someone from your past shows, you need to let them go. Reality of it all, they could be a different version of themselves. So there might be an opportunity that comes through. So pay attention to that opportunity that comes in, that new partnership that's coming through. Anytime someone shows from your past and they come back in, there's an opportunity to have a conversation, to share something to whatever it was that might have disconnected you. Anytime your paths reconnect, it's an opportunity to have a conversation, to share thoughts. Matters of the heart is what I like to say. So all that being said, there's your massive portal energy as we speak, your massive portal energy as we speak. That 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We have lots of portals coming in. Pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you, and just allow your body to be in motion. Allow your body to be in motion, because that's very important to do. Now, I think there's another commercial break, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and tell you the conclusion of today's show. I'm believing there's another commercial break. I sort of lost track here. Anyway, so again, all these massive portals that are coming through, pay attention to your body. Your body is your biggest teacher. Abundance is definitely on its way, and that expansion is on its way. I'm going to take that commercial break. I'll be back to tell you the conclusion of today's show. Hello and welcome. I'm Joanne Angel Barry Colon, your holistic integrative teacher, licensed personal trainer, Reiki master, published author, and card creator. Let me take you down a path of direct communication with the physical body in order to become more aware and in sync with your soul. I will help you to observe and understand the language of the body as it regards to the needs of the soul. Join me on this journey of great expansion and a unique experience. I will help you integrate your mind, body, and soul as you move forward on your journey. For questions, readings, and self-growth discovery session, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. If you are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Colon. You missed an amazing segment. You definitely have to come back and watch from the very beginning. It's on most of the platforms, just to name one or two, YouTube, and of course, Roku, and many of the podcast platforms as well. So whether you are watching or listening, I thank you so much for being here and spending your time with me together. So I like to share a little bit about the promos that a lot of my partners have going on for you. All my partners keep you in mind. So to dive in, we're going to start off with Joe Monkman. He's got two amazing events taking place: the fire ceremony, which takes place on December 16th, and spirit messages that take place on December 19th. All the information for both of those events on each flyer. Feel free to come back and scan it or screenshot it. Then we have the badass color mystic. She's got so much going on, I can't even track it all. So go ahead and check out her website, createdlife.com, and you can get all her information there. Then we have the Author's Porch magazine, and of course, a podcast. The next magazine issue comes out on January 4th. You're definitely going to want to read that one. Last but not least, we have Intuition of the Soul. Once again, they too have so much going on their platform as well. So go ahead and check them out as well. So here you have it. There you go. Remember that as we do move into 2024, it's the year of the 8th, which is about your abundance. And there's so much expansion going on. Take care of your body, move your body, and know that your body is your greatest teacher. Enjoy the rest of your day until we come back again in the third Thursday of this month. And I look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye for now.